Okay. Welcome to,
Personal brand equity.
there it is,
Session 0.
Session 0. It's under the 10 podcast series, so that's why I got stuck there for a hot second.
Who are you?
But I'm Shonna Dorsey, Executive Director of the Nebraska Tech Collaborative powered by the Exarban Foundation. And you are?
Todd Murphy with Truescope, a media intelligence company, globally serving clients, but North America headquartered here in Omaha.
Awesome. So Todd and I met in, was that April? I think it was April of this year.
University of Nebraska at Omaha.
Yes,
Future of
2023.
Work.
Future of Work conference. Todd was a panelist. I had the pleasure of moderating the panel discussion, and we just had a great time up there. Great information was shared for sure by all, but I was like, this guy's hilarious, very bright, obviously, marketing expertise and all of that.
You're probably more accurate on the funny. My mom told me that, Todd, if you can't be smart, be funny. So I'm hilarious.
Okay. Well, you also have a lot of value to add. And so one of the things Todd and I talked about was, what if we started up a podcast about personal brand equity and the importance of it, how you build it, how to maintain it, some things you might be doing that you don't know are like not helping. So yeah.
And I think it's a topic that gets overlooked too often. Omaha has a great community of educational institutions, the Nebraska Tech Collaborative for one, that's helping people gain skills, technical skills, but sometimes the softer skills of presenting yourself to a group, presenting yourself to an individual. In my experience of interviewing candidates and hiring people, I feel like sometimes those soft skills are either overlooked or maybe not focused on enough.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you and I started talking about it. And you said, hey, this would be a great opportunity to discuss some of those soft skills and hopefully help people who have really strong technical skills develop and understand what their own personal brand equity could be.
Yeah, I love that. And one other part about Omahans, and we've heard this in many episodes of the 10 podcasts, is that there is a degree of humility here that's quite different than maybe other communities you might experience. And so we're like, what if we can help people, A, be better at telling their own stories, but then also be ambassadors, if you will, of others, storytellers of others, advocates of others, that sort of thing.
That's a perfect summary of what personal brand equity can be.
Mm-hmm.
As I thought about it again just this morning, this isn't going to be like 10 steps that people have to follow and master each step. And there are professional coaches and business coaches out there that can help people make sure you do all 7 of these things. I think we're going to break it down into some steps, but it's going to be a looser approach. And if you can just remember one of those, you'll probably be better than when we started the podcast.
That's true.
I hope
so too. And you just like ratchet it up. Like, I don't know, you probably noticed this with your own brand building experience. I know I have that. I just learn as I go and definitely have stumbled along the way. And so it's great to now reflect on all of that and say, here are some things that you can do to avoid many of the things that I had to figure out the hard way.
Right. And anyone who gets good at anything learns by trial and error.
Yes.
We do that as children. We start, our parents correct us, our mom, our dad, a grandma, a grandpa, someone corrects us, hopefully. But it can be as simple as maybe you're an introvert. When you are in a room, if you can just teach yourself to introduce yourself.
Yep.
And you don't even have to give your full name. If you just hold out your hand and say, hi, I'm Todd, that's going to elicit a response from the person you're introducing yourself who would say, oh, well, hi, I'm Shonna Dorsey with the Nebraska Tech Collaborative.
Yep.
And then you can say, oh, well, I'm with Truescope in North America. And now you're in a discussion.
Right.
So there's just little things you can do that aren't hard, even for an introvert to execute. That's
awesome. I had something. I lost it, but
okay.
We'll keep
It'll
going. So let's talk a little bit about, I remembered what it was, but it'll make more sense later. But let's talk a little bit about some of the topics you will be covering.
Sure. So some of the more exciting topics we will be covering will be things like how to view yourself as an investment. I have certain skills but lack other skills. So if I lean into the skills I have and invest more of my energy, my education, I can accentuate my strong points, and then I can put myself in a room ideally with those who complement those skills. So if I lack a skill and you possess it, being self-aware, recognizing that you may be a better, a more clear speaker, I might let you moderate, and I would answer questions that might be more comfortable and let me exhibit more of my knowledge on a topic than trying to pull those topics out of myself.
Right.
So understanding where your skills are, leaning into them, being self-aware, accepting that, and then just getting on a path of becoming more and more comfortable really with who you are.
Right.
I kind of think of an analogy, Berkshire Hathaway shares, for example. That investment, you can buy a share in Berkshire Hathaway and it rises and falls based on what corporations they buy or invest in. If they invest in corporations that are poorly managed, that share falls in value. They do a very good job of not making that mistake. That's because they, in a way, in this analogy, are self-aware of what they do well.
Right.
They avoid investments that they don't understand. And people are this, can be similar. Knowing who you are and what you're good at, that's a starting point.
Yep. Okay. So that was one topic. So we're not going to go through all of these because, look at this. It's pages
a long
and pages.
List,
but it's good.
I have one section called Swim with Bigger Fish, but look for open water. That's an interesting one. I think it's a catchy phrase.
Yeah, I can't wait. That'll be a good one.
Accept your personality traits. I've got some that are offensive. You know, my only sense of humor generally is sarcasm, which is like the lowest form of humor.
Yeah. Is that true?
It is true.
Oh, okay.
Would I lie to you, Shonna? Come on.
I don't know you that well yet. We're going to learn over the course of the series.
Right. Okay. Everyone will get to know me. Apparently everyone already knows Shonna in this tri-state region. I don't know what states that includes.
I don't know. So for several other topics.
Okay. You want more topics?
Well,
credibility, leaning into what you do well. Let's say you're a computer programmer, developing your skill and then making others aware of that skill. The developers I have worked with, generally aren't good at everything. Right. They're good in a section or a language, or they're a .NET programmer or Python or whatever. Knowing that, not necessarily ignoring, but not focusing, de-emphasizing the things that you aren't great at, focusing on the things that you are better at, and then letting others know about that. When others know what you are good at, they see you as a potential thought leader. They potentially seek you out for your knowledge on that topic. If you're a Python coder, they might view you as a resource. So there's a whole list of benefits that come out of understanding your personal brand equity. And I just jotted down a few of them, but like.
Oh, wait. Are you going to give it all away? Or should this be
I'll pick one at random.
Okay. One random.
The benefits of increasing your personal brand equity. One benefit is greater job stability, as you are seen as harder to replace.
Oh.
So.
Well, that is fascinating.
That's just a peek into the future.
Okay.
I don't want to give, this is a 30 podcast series, I was told. So this carries us through 2028. But as an incentive, I think we're 4 or 5 podcasts?
What?
How many are in the series?
Until we run out of content.
Okay. So,
but every once in a while, we're going to do this thing.
I think we have an idea on how to get people to participate. And I think you had mentioned maybe doing LinkedIn comments.
Yes. So here's the deal. So these will be released monthly starting in August. And we'll be asking everyone to take one of Todd's tips. See, there we go. Todd's brand equity tips. One of Todd's tips during the segment.
Tips by Todd.
What?
Tips by Todd.
Okay. We're getting there.
We're going to work on the branding of this.
But one of those.
Shonna's stories?
No, because it's mostly content from you. I'm just here for color commentary, for like jokes and whatnot. Not as good at that. But anyway, you'll take one of the tips presented during the segment and then use it in your own LinkedIn profile or wherever you use it. If it's a networking tip, you might share how you used it at a conference or whatever you decide to do. And then you'll share that in the comments, like a link to the post, which is great for engagement on your LinkedIn profile, by the way, or an example of what you did at some conference or event. And every once in a while, I think we're going to go with quarterly. Okay, quarterly.
Sounds good.
Truescope, Todd specifically, is donating
$100
okay
Amazon gift card. You don't get the $100 bill, but you do get the Amazon gift card.
You do get the Amazon gift card.
It'll probably be a virtual gift card, won't it?
Yeah, hopefully. That's easier.
Yeah.
Just email it to them.
You don't have to come down to the studios and pick it up.
Right. Right. We'll make it very easy for you, but we'll just randomly draw from the comments. So the more you engage with it, the more chances you have to win.
Play the odds.
Right. So we'll definitely do one before Christmas. So there's one, like November or so.
You can either use the $100 for a gift for yourself or spend it on someone you appreciate.
Yeah, even if that's yourself, which is good.
I appreciate myself.
Yes. And for those who zoom in, yes, Todd did just pick up a $1 bill, but it's just...
See, now no one who's watching this on video noticed that was a $100 bill. From here, you probably still think it's a $100 bill. I don't think that's an FCC violation. I don't think there's any reason for a congressional inquiry. I'm not sure I would trust that inquiry anyway. But, it's a continuity flaw in the filming. So it's, thanks for giving away my
yeah, you're welcome.
Trick.
I'm here for just
honesty,
transparency.
I get it.
But
that's what the Nebraska Tech Collaborative is all about.
Just
honesty.
Just be open.
Practical, authentic.
Yeah.
Guidance.
Unedited podcasts. But anyway, that's the plan. Yeah.
So personal brand equity, it's not going to be a heavy lift. This is not going to be homework. It's going to be something that should be fun. It should be easy. I look at it, I've been preaching this to my kids, and I'm not a minister or a preacher or a published author of any kind. I can read, so I do feel I'm educated, but personal brand equity is just understanding who you are, what your skills are, and then becoming comfortable leaning into those.
Mm-hmm.
There are coaches, as I mentioned, who go much deeper in that. We're not going to do a deep dive.
Right. No,
it's going to be fun, easy.
Exactly. Practical things, easy takeaways, things that you can do right away.
Right. So. And hopefully whatever's, if you do engage with the Nebraska Tech Collaborative or not, mm-hmm. These are ideas that you can apply to any part of your life.
Exactly. So we're looking forward to it, and we'll see y'all starting August.
Thanks for tolerating me.
Thanks.